This just might be the most clearly labeled football boot of all time. What's going on, guys? Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new, fully blacked out launch colorway of the Puma King Pro, which is technically the takedown model to the very, very good Puma King Platinum. It retails for half the price at $100, but still features a full kangaroo leather upper. So even though this is technically a takedown model, more of a value for money type option, the quality of the boot doesn't necessarily reflect that, because despite the $100 retail price, they still feature a kangaroo leather upper that's on par with other boots in this price range. The two most notable ones I would say being the Nike Premier 2 and the Nike Tiempo Legend 7 Pro, which are actually both more expensive than the Puma King Pro. So I'm going to go over all the details in today's video, do a bunch of comparisons, including comparing the Pro to the Puma King Platinum, and of course take a look at how they fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more about these boots, please stick around and watch the entire video. And if you're interested in a pair for yourself, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $100 retail price. If you guys do end up enjoying this video and perhaps would like to see more reviews of takedown models on the channel, don't forget to support this one with a like. And if you're new here watching for the first time and don't want to miss out on future content from me, make sure you hit that subscribe button along with the little bell notification so you get notified when the next new video goes live. Now, if you've seen the more expensive $200 Puma King Platinum, you're probably looking at the Pro and saying to yourself, hey, those look pretty similar, but that's only when the two boots are separate. This is the Pro and this is the Platinum, and you can see side by side there is a definite difference in regards to the overall shape and certainly the quality of materials, but considering the $100 price point, I still think the quality of the Pro is pretty good. For $100, you're getting a kangaroo leather upper, but unlike the Puma King Platinum, the entire upper is not made out of leather, despite it looking a lot like that's the case. What you're going to find is basically from this seam right here forward all the way through the forefoot. Whether or not it continues underneath the Puma form stripe, I'm not entirely sure. I don't think that it does though. I think it's cut around the form stripe itself, but running through the forefoot toe box area and then spanning pretty much the majority of the midfoot up until this seam right here. So this little strip through the midfoot, also found on the Platinum, is actually made from kangaroo leather. Everything from there back is actually made from a synthetic leather material that looks very similar to the actual kangaroo leather at the front, but it isn't. And I would actually say that that's probably a good thing considering the design of the boot, because the synthetic, it's in an area of the foot that's not really going to be making much contact with the ball, and it's going to maintain its shape a lot better than the leather, given the fact that it's not as soft. It just won't overstretch over time. Now, the kangaroo leather itself is noticeably thicker than what you'll find on the Puma King Platinum, which has more of a barefoot feel due to how thin the leather is, but the softness is still really, really good. You'll also notice, just like the Platinum, that there really isn't much in the way of stitching, just this little strip right here through the midfoot as a support slash structure element. Instead, there's an internal support cage that again looks a lot like the Platinum, but it's a little bit more significant, a little bit thicker, but still feels very, very good. So in terms of touch on the ball, if you're looking for that classic kangaroo leather feel, you're getting a very nice touch from the Puma King Pro. Another design element that's shared with the Platinum is the one-piece upper construction, but instead of the tongue piece being made out of a knitted material, it's actually just made out of an elasticated mesh, which honestly feels fine. Definitely not as premium as the Evo knit material of the Platinum, but it definitely gets the job done. And I like the fact that they've actually gone with a one-piece upper construction, which also allows them to use a dual lace hole system that I feel works really well in terms of locking your foot in place. Once the laces are tied tight, the laces are directly down the middle. Nice deep lacing system as well. So pretty straightforward for a more traditional style boot. Moving to the rear, you will find that it does have a low cut construction with a little bit of this kind of neoprene material along the edges. Kind of a common design element with a lot of, I guess, modern football boots. We saw a variation of this on the Puma Evo Power Vigor 1, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think that I am, but it's a more standard low-cut construction, obviously with an internal heel counter rather than an external one, unlike the Platinum, due to the sole plate being completely different. And then internally, you'll find that it features a really nice kind of synthetic leather type material, nice and soft. Heel lockdown is very good, and there's really no issues in regards to comfort whatsoever. The insole is fully removable and as straightforward as it gets. It features a nice soft mesh lining on top, and it's made from a single layer of black foam. Which brings us to the sole plate and stud pattern, which is clearly a lot different than what you'll find on the Platinum model, which features the Rapid Sprint sole plate, the extra external heel counter, as well as the FGAG stud pattern taken directly from the Puma 1 line. With the Puma King Pro, however, you get a much more traditional sole plate and stud pattern, let's say, where the sole plate is pretty much a standard TPU plastic material. It's got good flexibility through the forefoot, but still good rigidity through the midfoot and heel area. Nothing too fancy, but it definitely gets the job done. And then you get this FG stud pattern. It's technically not FGAG, at least that's not how Puma is branding it. And it's a pretty standard layout, very similar to what you'll find on other models from the Puma brand. But it works really well. It's conical studs, but the conical studs are a lot more aggressive than what you'll find from a lot of other traditional boots. So in comparison to something like a Nike Premier 2, as an example, that has fairly short FG studs, these are a lot longer and just more aggressive in general. So if you're looking for a little bit more bite in regards to traction, this is actually a pretty solid stud pattern. Which brings us to the weight. And because the Pro has a slightly thicker leather upper and it doesn't have the Rapid Sprint sole plate taken from the Puma 1, it does have a little bit more weight to it than what you'll find from the Puma King Platinum, but you were probably expecting that. So in a size 9.5 US, the Puma King Pro weighs in at 8.65 ounces, the equivalent of 245 grams, which is roughly about 1.5 ounces more than the Puma King Platinum in the same size, a difference of about 42, 43 grams, which is a significant amount in terms of what you're going to be able to feel. The two boots do feel distinctively different on feet, not just because of the thicker leather, not just because of the difference in the sole plate, but also in regards to the way that they fit. The Puma King Platinum has more of a speed boot vibe, where the Puma King Pro has more of a traditional feel to it, which in that regard, given the type of feel that they're offering here, I don't really have any issues with the weight, but if you're looking for something super light, it's probably worth the extra money to spend on the Platinum. It's probably worth the extra money to buy the Platinum, is what I meant to say. So obviously these are blackouts and they look good with black laces. I'm not going to deny that. But if you want to change up the style of your boots so you're a little bit different from everybody else, you can do that. And I've done that with some white reflective SR4U replacement laces, which do accent with the King logo and the Puma branding on the side. It's the only white bits on the boots, but I really feel like the blackout upper with the white laces gives it a very old school vibe, which is kind of what they were going for here with the return of the Puma King line in the first place. So if you're interested in changing up the style of your boots in a very inexpensive way, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. There'll be a little pop-up on screen as well as a link down below in the description. So if you're interested in some, be sure to go ahead and check that out. On feet, the King Pro feels really good, but it also feels very different when compared to the more expensive Platinum model. Basically, it's a different shape. The leather is a little bit thicker, and what they've essentially done is they have shortened the sides of the boot that actually have the leather, and they've positioned the lace holes further apart. So there is more of this tongue area through the middle, filling up the entire upper, and the volume of the boot seems to be a little bit lower. They don't seem to be quite as wide through the midfoot as well, although the overall profile of the Platinum, especially just holding them in hands, it looks like it would have a tighter overall fit. That's not necessarily the case. That's not to say that these are wider in any way, but they feel a lot more traditional. There's more bulk to them, and it just has, I would say, a tight fit, but more of a traditional shape overall. The lockdown in the heel is quite good, and as a whole, the boots are very comfortable. I don't really have any complaints here at all, but I definitely don't think that they are an excellent option if you have really wide feet, like a lot of other leather boots might be. This is, to me, a tighter fit. If you have slightly wide feet and you like that tighter fit, you're not going to have any issues, but they're certainly not going to be a great option for exceptionally wide-footed players. As far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing these in my usual size 9.5 US, and the fit and the length is perfect. They're nice boots as a whole, but definitely not as nice as the Platinums. So in conclusion, is the Puma King Pro worth the $100 price tag? The simple answer to that question is a definite yes. In comparison to the Puma King Platinum, I just feel like that is another level of football boot in regards to leather quality, in regards to fit. Obviously, it's a lot lighter. The fact that it's FGAG is also really nice. I think that is one of the best leather football boot options on the market right now. The King Pro is still a very good boot. The Kangaroo leather still feels comfortable. It still fits well. It definitely offers a really nice touch on the ball, but it has a thicker, bulkier feel to it. They're obviously not as light, and it just doesn't do everything that the King Platinum does quite as well. But again, it's half the price. In comparison to something like a Nike Premier 2, this definitely has a little bit more bulk to it. I think the Premier personally fits maybe a little bit better, but you could make the argument that the leather quality here is nicer than what you'll find on the Premiers. My preference would still probably be the Premiers, but these are equally as good, I would say. It's more of a personal preference thing. And then when it comes to the Tiempo Legend 7 Pro, they're just very different boots. Those are a lot more modern. These offer a much more traditional feel, I would say. So it kind of just depends on what you're looking for. Either way, if you're on a budget and you're looking for some leather boots that are really, really good, the Puma King Pro is definitely worth a look. Anyways, guys, that's it for my review. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to support it with a like. Again, if you're interested in a pair of Puma King Pros for yourself, you can click the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes. You'll be able to pick these up below their normal $100 retail price. If you have any questions, as always, leave them down below in the comments, and I'll do my best to get an answer out to you as soon as I possibly can. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked down below in the description as well. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.